President Obama firing shots in America's so-called war on coal. The first, back in November, announcing to cut the country's coal emissions 30% by year 2030. The second, meeting with China, a country emitting the most carbon pollution every day, and agreeing that emission standards won't even have to begin until 2030. The third, coal ash requirements, and the most recent during a State of the Union address. By now, the war on coal has hit a stalemate for most of America, falling out of the limelight of their daily life. But in coal country, the EPA's new standards still loom in the air. We take a look at coal in the Mid-Ohio Valley and its surrounding regions.
That's what they do. That's like their life, and has been their culture for, hundreds of years. So it's very, very deeply embedded.
Coal mining culture is it's a microcosm of American culture. These workers just want to go and provide affordable energy with honor and dignity.
Just along the Ohio River, we got about 3,200 coal miners.
For coal mines in East Ohio and southern West Virginia, the threat of job loss and power outages remains a concern. December 1st, 2014 was the deadline for states to submit comments on the latest standard requirements.
We support having a robust energy policy that is protective of air quality and public health. However, US EPA's proposed Clean Power Plan we believe is technically flawed, not legal, and unworkable in its current form.
They didn't come into coal country, into St. Clairsville, Ohio, or Caldwell, Ohio, or Marietta, Ohio, to talk to the people that they're going to be affecting. They went to places like San Francisco and Denver, Atlanta, and Washington, D.C.
Marietta College engineering professor Andy Grimm agrees the mix of energy sources used to produce electricity is changing, adding that we have the energy resources to reach the 30%.
A country of smart people and smart engineers and financiers, we can figure out how to do this. But it is going to cost. It is going to cost.
Interim president of the Coal Association, Christian Palich, says by the end of 2016,
industry will have spent over $140 billion on clean coal technology, which has aided in lowering carbon emissions by 13% since 2005.
Now comes the question of what grounds the war on coal holds and what's in store for the industry.
If the federal government would do two things, if they would eliminate some of the regulatory burden, if they would reduce the tax burden on individuals and companies.
Developments in clean coal technology continues to be expensive. Alternative processes such as carbon capture sequestration remains in the laboratory.
We understand the technology, but we haven't actually built carbon capture and sequestration systems to a large enough degree that we really understand.
There is no incentive for companies to make investments in coal technology.
The Coal Association says Obama's standards on emissions for power plants will cost the everyday consumer.
The targets that they've set in the Clean Power Plan are not achievable, and we believe that power plant reliability would suffer.
It's going to cause an increase in utility rates for people that live here. By as much as $852 a year, and you're talking about a part of the country that already struggles.
The rest of the world is turning to coal. Australia just eliminated their carbon tax, and Germany's going back to coal after years of a heavy renewable energy portfolio. They're turning to coal, and we're turning our back on it.
Congressman Bill Johnson says we need an all-of-the-above energy policy.
And there is a place for alternative forms of energy like wind, like solar, like hydro power and biofuels, alternative fuels, but wind and solar cannot meet our heavy lifting energy needs today.
Brooke Thibodeau, WTAP News.